Oh, hold on. I should have gotten that ready. All right, what does y'all's study guide start with?
7 M's and 6.
Okay, that's what mine says too. I'm just making sure. Hold on. I gotta fix this screen. Now, there we go. Okay. So let's go through these, and we have how many questions? 26. Is that how many y'all have? Because mine has 32, but I think I took the back ones off. All right, so let's just go through this. I think we can finish it. It'll go in the same order on your test. And again, if the copy machine will work, if anybody wants to take this test, I don't see y'all wanting to do it tomorrow after pre-ACT, but you can. Because if you feel like, man, I did the study guide, I really want to take it tomorrow afternoon, you can. Otherwise, it's Thursday. Yes?
How many questions are on?
Probably around 25, maybe. This has 26, so it may be around 20. I don't know. It may even be 26. Sometimes I'll do an extra one and just not count one. So I don't know. I haven't made it. Okay, number 1, it wants the degree. So all you do is you look at your exponents. Okay, it's just this one little term. So I have 6 M's and 5 N's. What's the degree? What's the total? 11. Okay, so your answer is B. Are we okay on that one? Yeah. Okay. That's a lot like the last chapter that we did. Okay, now we're moving on, and we're combining like terms. So we're not looking really at changing the degree or anything anymore. We're just combining like terms. So without looking at this one, if I have 2x plus 3x, that is what? 5x. You don't change exponents. Same thing here. I have 6x to the 7th, and I add 8 of them. How many of them do I have? 14. So you would put 14x to the 7th. Okay, you are just adding. The only time you add exponents is if you are multiplying. Are we doing that? No. Does this make sense? And it's a lot of words I'm saying. Same thing on this one. I have 2y to the 5th, and I take away 4y to the 5th. So how many of those do I have? Negative 2y to the 5th. So there it is. Okay? You're just combining like terms. Are we good with those? Does anybody have a question on it? No. Okay. All right. Number 4. This one, it wants it in standard form. Do y'all know what standard form means?
In order.
In order. We just want to start with the biggest exponent and then go down from there. Okay, so we're going to rearrange it. First of all, though, is there anything that I can combine together?
11 and 2.
Yeah, just like the ones before, I'm just going to find some that may match, and I'll put them together. So let me read what that says. Negative 11x squared plus 6x squared. How many is that? A negative 5x squared. And I'm starting with my biggest exponent. That's why I picked the x squared. So I'm going to mark those off so I don't get confused. What would come next?
Minus 8.
Yeah, the minus 8x. Do exactly what it says. It has a negative out front or the minus, so it's going to say minus 8x. I did that one. And then the last thing is this 2. So what goes in front of it? Plus. It's a positive 2, so we put our plus 2. Okay, so then you would see what matches it, and it's only one that matches it, right? This one right here. And the other words, we don't know what quadratic means. You will eventually. But trinomial, that's because there's how many terms? 3 terms. Tricycle, right, has 3 wheels. Trinomial has 3 terms. Okay, are we good with that one? Yeah? On this one, it's the same thing. So let me put it in order. What would go first?
2x squared.
Yeah, the 2x squared is positive, so I'm just going to keep it positive. Then what?
3x.
A plus 3x, it was positive, minus 6. And what do we call that one?
Second degree trinomial.
Yeah, a second degree
How do
trinomial.
you know if it's second degree?
You just, whatever,
You use
and
your
that's what
exponents.
they didn't put up there because they used the word quadratic instead. But if it had a 3 up here, then we would have put third degree trinomial. If it had a 4 up here, a 4th degree. But it has a 2, so it's a second degree and then you were gonna put trinomial. Okay?
I'll probably put that one on.
At least put some of it. Look on the problem in front of it. Just go by that if you want to. Okay? Look at their answer choices and see what you would pick. Okay? Alright, let's move on. Number 6. On this one, we're just, again, combining like terms on 6 and 7. Okay, on number 6, we're adding. What are we doing on number 7? Subtracting. Use your calculator to check yourself, okay? So, I'm going to start with my u to the third, right? So, I have 2 and what? 2. What is 2 plus 2? 4u to the third. So, I'm just going to write it here first. And y'all, I'm writing it in order. They're going to want it in standard form. It's in order. Okay, what would come next? This 6u squared, or 6u to the second. Does anything go with it? No, so I'll just put my 6u squared. Okay, so I'm going to mark through them as I go, so I don't get confused. Then what? 7u, and it is negative. So think of it this way. I have 0 plus negative 7u. So it's just negative 7u minus 7u. Okay? And then what's the last thing that I have? 3 plus 6 is a positive 9. So there it is in order. That is answer choice D. What's wrong with A?
They're out of order.
Yeah, they're just not in the right order. Okay? It's the same thing, but they're just not in standard form. So is everybody good with number 6? Yeah? Okay, let's look at 7 then. What am I going to start with on this one? The x to the 4th. So let's see if we have any that match. I have negative 5 minus, do not forget that minus sign, negative 7. I would type that in my calculator. Yeah, it is 2x to the 4th. Negative 5 minus negative 7 is 2x to the 4th. Okay, everybody good with that? You typed in your calculator. If you don't understand, type in your calculator. Negative 5 minus negative 7. It is a positive 2. Okay, then what would I do next?
Negative 7 and negative 9.
Yeah, I would type in negative 7 minus negative 9. And what is that?
Positive 2.
A positive 2 again. Type it in your calculator if you don't believe me. I'm going to mark them out. I'm following the signs. And then 5 minus negative 5. A positive 10. A plus 10. That would be my answer on that. Okay? So any questions so far? Is it easy so far?
Yeah.
We get this? Probably doesn't get hard until granny glasses, huh? Yeah, that's where it'll be the hardest. Okay. Alright, so far we've just been combining like terms all the way through problem 7. We're just adding and subtracting like terms. Now we're gonna pick up with doing something with the exponents, because now we start multiplying, right? So what do we do with the exponents? We'll add them, but we'll get to it in a second. Alright, if I have 2n times n squared, 2n to the third. Notice now my exponents are changing, okay? Not until problem number 8. Alright, then 2n times 3n. 6n to the second. A positive 6n to the second. I'm just multiplying, okay? And then 2n times 4. 8n. Okay? And, oh yeah, so that's A. Sorry, I didn't say what answer choice it was. Are we good with that one? Okay. Now number 8, we're going to work backwards from that. Okay, we're going to start with this answer and go back to where it looks like this. Okay, we're just working backwards. So what number, let's start with a number, goes into 2, 4, and 8? 2. And what variable? I have 3 x's, 2 x's, and 1 x. So I can only factor out 1 x. So now we have to put everything that's left over. We're going to divide it out. So what's 2 divided by 2? It's 1. And yeah, I've only pulled 1 x out. So how many do I have left? My x squared. Any questions so far? I'm just dividing it out. So what's 4 divided by 2? 2. And then you basically subtracting the exponents. But I have an x. I pulled 1 x out. I have 1 left over. And then 8x divided by 2x is 4. So that is what it looks like to factor. That. Okay? Are we good with that one? Yes. Okay. Now let's go to number 10. We're moving along pretty good. Number 10. All right. This one is just like number 9. We're going to see what we factor out. So what number goes into 25 and 35? 5. And how many W's can I factor out? 3. One of them has 6 and one of them has 3. So I can only pull out 3. All right, so let's see what's left. Let's divide by that. What is 25 divided by 5? 5. I pulled 3 W's out. How many would I have left in there? 3. Because they have to add the 6. And what's 35 divided by 5? 7. And I already pulled all 3 of those W's out. So your answer, yeah, it's B. Okay, are we good with that? Yeah, I've got some people napping, and I hope y'all are going to be ready for this test Thursday. This is my last day with y'all before Thursday, okay? For studying. I mean, I have pre-ACT with y'all tomorrow, but
Wait, what's happening Wednesday?
I'm not going to be here Wednesday to go over stuff with y'all.
Okay.
So you're kind of on your own. But I'm recording, so you'll have it. Okay, number 11. And thanks for not cheering. Normally they cheer when I say, I'm not going to be here. Woo!
Heard you woke up just to say that.
Huh?
Parents here asleep.
Okay, number 11. It says that you have a rectangular lot of land. And, well, this one ends up being, since they're the same, the sides are the same, 7x by 7x, it's a what? Square. But we've already discussed all that stuff. So I have a 7x by 7x. Is everybody good with that? Your project is going to look a lot like this when we come back from break. Like these types of problems, okay? They're not bad, but they'll probably scare you at first. Okay, and then inside of this land is another square that is a 5x by 5x. And they want me to find the area between them, the difference, right? What's left over. So I would find the area of the big thing and take away, subtract, the area of the smaller one. Does that make sense? And how do you find the area? It is length times width. No, well, that's volume. The area is just going to be length times width, okay? Because it's flat, an area is flat, there is no height. So that's why it's length times width. Now, if I was doing volume, we would take that area and go up. Okay, so length times width, what's 7x times 7x? 49. And x what? Squared. Does everybody understand where the x squared comes from? Yeah, x times x. Now, what's the area of the smaller one? 25x squared. Now, are those like terms? Yeah, I can subtract those, right? What is 49 minus 25?
24.
Oh, yeah, 24. I was about to say, I don't see the answer. Yeah, there it is. 24x squared.
So we put B or D? B.
Oh. What did...
That's so it would be B.
Yeah, it's going to be B. Yeah, definitely. Let me see what they put. What number is this? But I would definitely put B. They did. They put B. Okay? Y'all make sure you put the final answer on this one, okay? Make sure you just simplify it. Combine like terms. Okay, let's move on to number 12. Negative 4h plus 2 times 3h plus 7. All right, what do I do with this one? Well, it's just FOIL it out, okay? This is backwards from Granny Glasses, actually. So, negative 4h times 3h. Let's look at the numbers first. Negative 4 times 3. Negative 12. Boys, y'all don't talk to each other. No, right now. Negative 4h times 7. Negative 28h. Okay? Now what are we going to do? Go to the next number, which is what? 2. What's 2 times 3h? 6h, and then 2 times 7. 14. Okay, almost done. All right, we distributed everything. We did FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. So what can I combine? The h's, my middle terms. Most of the time, boys, it is the middle terms. So we get negative 12h squared, or minus, what? 22h plus 14. There's our answer. And I know the directions are different for 12 and 13, but it's really the same. It's like problem, however you do it. All right. Then number 13, let's go ahead and do that one. I have 3x minus 7 times 3x minus 5. What's that? Oh, they're over there. They're up there. Okay, so if I FOIL, I take 3x times 3x. What is that? 9x squared. And 3x times negative 5. And it's negative 15x. Negative 7 times 3. Negative 21 in our x. And negative 7 times negative 5. Positive 35. Do y'all not need me to go over these? Y'all do? Okay. I get 9x squared minus, what is that, 36x plus 35. That is, yeah, D. All right. Then I'll move on to 14. Do we feel confident so far? I hope y'all do. I don't think that the problems get bad until number, what, 22? 20? Oh, you said 14? Oh, 15's not going to be on there.
15's not gonna be
15's not going to be on there, no. So, all right, let's go over this one. So 4K, I'm going to distribute it, right? We can't really use FOIL method because our problem is too big. All right, first, outer, inner, last. But we're just going to distribute this 4K to everything over here, and then the 5 to everything over here. Combine like terms, and we're done. Okay? So what is 4K times 3K squared? 12K to the third. Just take it step by step. 4 times 3 is 12. And K times K squared. K to the third. You add the exponents. What is 4K times negative 4K? Negative 16. And I've got K squared. And then what is 4K times negative 4? Negative 16. And we have a K. Now let's keep going. 5 times 3K squared. 15K squared. 5 times negative 4K. Negative 20K. And 5 times negative 4. Negative 20. Okay? Now we just combine like terms, right? So I have 12K to the third. That's the only K to the third. I'm marking it out. Then what do I have next?
K squared.
Yeah, I'm going to combine my K squared. So it's negative 16 plus 15. What is that? It's negative 1 k squared, or I might just put minus k squared. Do y'all know that's the same thing?
Wait, what?
I
Where?
did negative 16 plus 15 was negative 1
Oh, yes.
k squared. So I just put minus k squared. If you put a 1 in front of it, that's just fine. Okay? Then what do I have? My negative 16 minus 20. What is that? Yep, negative 36k. And then the last thing, minus 20. Okay? There's number 14. All right, can I keep going? Yep. We're going to skip 15, right? Yay. Number 16. This one is FOIL. It says j plus 7 times j minus 7. Does anybody remember what that's called when they're opposite like that? Conjugate? What happens to the middle terms? Does anybody remember? Since one's positive and one's negative, they're going to cancel out. But let's just see what happens. So some of you can already tell what your answer choice should be. If you just knew all that information, you don't even have to work the problem out. You can tell. But let's say we don't know it. What is j times j? J squared. What is j times negative 7? Negative 7j. What is 7 times j? Plus 7j. See what happens there? Then what's 7 times negative 7? Negative 49. So what happens to the middle terms, boys? They cancel out. A negative 7 and a positive 7 would cancel.
And then negative 49, j to the second.
Well, no, it's j squared minus 49. Because you can't combine them because we're adding and subtracting. So it's just j squared minus 49. Okay? Now we're going to start factoring. Are we ready? The first few aren't so bad. Okay? We're not doing granny glasses yet. So we're on number 17. And we have w squared plus 18w plus 77. So what do I do to factor this one? I put my 2 parentheses. I can do that because there's not a number out front, right? So what goes at the front of the parentheses? Yeah, W, W. What am I going to find factors of? Yeah, what times what is 77? That's what I mean by that. So let's list them. I can only think of one. Yeah, 7 times 11. Does that add up to our middle number? It does. So those are my 2 answers. Plus 7, plus 11. Okay? How was that? Hopefully that wasn't so bad. It was terrible.
7. Oh, wait.
Do I have any questions? No? Not yet? Let's look at number 18. X squared minus 1x, that's what that is, minus 42. There's no number out front when I go to factor. So my factored form, I can just go straight to my 2 parentheses. What goes at the front of it? X times x. What are factors of negative 42? That means what times what? Negative 7 and 6, 7 and negative 6. Okay? So do any of those add up to a negative 1x? Which one? The negative 7. Does everybody understand that? They multiply to give me the last number, but they have to add to give me this middle number, which is negative 1. So I put minus 7, and that was a positive or a plus 6. Any questions on 18? We're good. Y'all better ace this test with the way y'all are acting. Okay, number 19. We have d squared minus 14d plus 45. So when I go to factor this one, I'm already ready. I don't have a number out front. So what goes in the front of the parentheses? D and D. And I'm going to find factors of 45. What times what is 45? Do 5 and 9 add to negative 14? They add to a positive 14. What if they were both negative? Does that still work? Yes. It multiplies to give me 45, and they add to negative 14. So it's minus 9 and minus 5.
Let's do the basis question.
Okay, number 20. Number 20. It's got x squared plus 4x minus 60. No number out front. So I can put my 2 parentheses, and what goes in the front of those?
X.
Very good.
Wake up, everybody.
I'm going to find factors of negative 60. So what times what is negative 60?
Tell everybody to wake up.
I know. I wish I respond more like that. That was great.
You ready for some-
Negative 10 and 6. Do any of those add up to a positive 4? Negative 6 and a positive 10. So those are my two answers. Minus 6 plus 10. All right, there we go. So it is A.
Wake up.
All right, 21. I'm just going to keep going. X squared minus 6xy minus 40y squared. Is there a number out front? No, so I can go ahead and put what?
X.
X and X. You're good at that part. Okay. So we've got negative 40y squared. This one's a little different. What times what is negative 40y squared? Okay, a negative 5 and a positive 8. Negative 8 and a positive 5. But do either of those add to negative 6? What else?
10 times 4.
Yeah, negative 10y and a 4y, or a positive 10y and a negative 4y. Do any of those add to negative 6? Which ones? The negative 10 and the positive 4. Do y'all see why there's a y with this one? Yeah? Because look what's at the end here. A y. So what's going to be at the end of these two? A y. Minus 10y plus 4y. That's the only one that's been like that, okay? The rest of them don't have a variable at the end. We're good with that? Yeah. Well, because if I FOIL this out, look, if I had x times x, that's the x squared, right? If I have, watch this, x times 4y, that's 4xy. So that is going to become an xy. Does that make sense? Okay. You're good? Oh, you put x plus 4y, x minus 10y? Same thing. Okay. All right, now are we ready for granny glasses? Our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 problems. Okay. 22. Oh, wait, let me charge my computer real quick. Because if that died, my whole video would go away. I'm fixing it. There it goes. Hold on, I gotta zoom in. There it goes. Okay. Number 22. Let's just get this done. How long do we have? Like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. We gotta try and finish. We're doing granny glasses. 8x squared plus 18x plus 9. How do I know we're doing granny glasses on this one? Because there's a number out front. Because it's what? Getting old? Yeah, I know. I'm ready to be done with this too. Same thing over and over. But I'm going to make sure y'all understand it. What's going on?
That is so funny, dude. You've done it like almost every day. Oh my gosh, dude. Hilarious. Classic. It's a classic.
Okay, back to math. What is 8 times 9? 8x squared times 9. We're on number 22. 72x squared. Do y'all know why in the world we're doing granny glasses? Yes? When there's a number out front, you're going to multiply it. Okay, and we get 72x squared. What times what is 72x squared? Let's list a bunch. Well, we already know the 8 and the 9. 8x and 9x. What else? 12x and 6x. Right? I could probably go through, and maybe there's a few more. Probably 3, goes into it. But do any of those add to 18? Yes. What adds to 18? 12 and 6. So I'm going to, this is where granny glasses is different, y'all. I'm bringing down the first thing and the last thing. Now I'm changing 18x with these two numbers. Okay, so I'll do 12x and then 6x. It doesn't matter what way you do them. All right. Now I'll group. Are we good with that? And factor out what's in common. So what can I factor out of 8 and 12? Well, I can factor out an x, but what number with it? 4. So I have my 4 and my x. So I'm going to divide everything out. What's 8x squared divided by 4x? Y'all, I hope y'all know this. It is 2x. What is 12x divided by 4x? 3. Any questions on that one? When I do my next one, what should happen? It should match, right? It should be the same thing. Yes, so you're going to factor out a 3. 3 goes into both of those numbers. So what's 6x divided by 3? 6 divided by 3 is 2. And what's 9 divided by 3? Do they match? Yeah, they should match. So my two answers are the 4x plus 3, what's on the outside, and my 2x plus 3, what's on the inside. Okay? So that was number 22. Please don't tear up the desks. We're already short one. And we're really short too. Okay. 23. Just sit in them like normal and they won't tear up. Okay, on this one. Oh no, it's stuck again.
Oh, hey, your hand's still there. She's a magician. I told you this.
But it's glitching. Hold on.
Oh, she's black. Whoa. She's green. It's no longer racist.
Okay. We'll just go with this. Okay. So.
Hey, your hand's still there.
Okay, on this one, it's frozen again. Since I have a number out front, what am I going to have to use? Greeny glasses. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Okay.
I heard that. So 17.
Well, but even if I go up there, I don't think it'll write on it.
Nice.
For my recording. Maybe it will.
I write that about 5 out of 10. Nice creases. What's that box?
Oh, you're on there. You're on the TV. You're on the TV, Miss Amanda. You're on the TV.
Quit. I'm recording.
Get your cameras out. It's on the TV. Something to order a lifetime.
Oh, it does work.
Yeah, everyone do something. I remember watching TV and saw it. And,
There. Okay, let's go on. Now, you're going to take, we better hurry before it freezes again. The first one times the last one. This one's a little bit harder because what do they have? Not only an x squared, but what else? The y squared. So this one's a little tricky. What is 15 times 4? What is 15 times 4?
4.
60 x squared and a y squared, right? We have x's and y's. So in our answers, we're going to have what? X and y. What times what is 60?
10 times 6.
Okay.
That's gonna be it, huh?
Yeah, it adds to 16, so what does it need to do to be negative 16?
Negative.
Yeah, they're both negative. So let me bring down the first thing. I got 15x squared. What do y'all want to put with the 15?
Let's do 10.
That's what I would have picked. Okay. And then we'll put my 6 and my y. Is everybody okay with what I've done so far? You bring your first and last thing. Here's your middle two numbers. They both have an x and a y because our first and our last one had x and y. Okay? So I'm going to group and group. Oops. Meant to do that. Okay. So what can I factor out of 15 and 10? A 5. And what do they both have? They both have an x. So now what's left over? Y'all pay attention. What's 15 divided by 5?
10. Wait. 3.
3. And your x. And what's 10 divided by 5? 2. Now my x is already out, but what's left? A y. Is everybody okay with that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Now on this one, what am I going to factor out? It's going to be a 2 and a what? Y. But here's the problem. My negative signs are backwards. Are they not?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
that needs to be a minus sign. So what am I going to pull out here? A negative 2y. There will be one probably where you have to pull out a negative. So what's left over? What is negative 6 divided by negative 2? 3, and we'll have an x. What is 4 divided by negative 2? Negative 2, and I have a what? A y. Do they match? Yes. They have to match. The positives and negatives have to be perfect. So you have what's on the outside, your 5x, and your negative 2y, or minus 2y. And then what's on the inside?
3x minus
3x
2y.
minus 2y. Okay. And we have 3 more. Let's see on time. We've got 10 minutes. No, we don't. We got like 7 minutes. Okay. We can do 24. Number 24, I've got 3x squared plus 8x minus 16. So what do I do on this one? Greenie glasses. I take the first times the last. What's 3 times negative 16? Negative 48, and we have an x squared with it. So what times what? There's lots of numbers that multiply to give me negative 48. What is it?
44 times 2.
You mean 24 and 2?
Well, we gotta get to 8.
Yep, that's right. So those aren't going to work, are they?
Nope.
Okay, so what are some numbers that are closer?
6 times 8?
We got to get to 8. Well, if I do 6 and negative 8, that it's got to add to give me a positive 8. So these aren't going to work either, I don't think.
12 and 4?
12 and 4.
That multiply to get negative 48. And then you gotta figure out it has to be the same number
To add to 8.
It's 12 and negative.
And it's 12 and negative 4. Those work. That would add to give me a positive 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put 3x squared. What do y'all want with the 3? The negative
Let's do 3.
and the negative 4? Okay.
3 and 4.
And then the 12x
And the 16.
and the 16. And I can tell I'm not going to have to do any negatives pulling out because my signs are going to match. So when I group, what's the only thing that can, that's a 12. What's the only thing that can factor out of this one?
2, 4.
There's a 3 and a 4, so it's just an x. And what's left over? 3x minus 4. Y'all, they're early. Just ignore them. They're like a good bit early. 5 minutes. Okay? Now, on this one, what can I factor out? Of 12 and 16.
4.
A 4, and what's left over?
An X.
A 3x
3x.
minus 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. What's
3 times
12?
4 is 12.
Yep. 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Now, do my parentheses match? Yes. So these are my 2 answers. There they are. Okay. Are we good? I know I didn't finish the last 2, but do y'all feel pretty good? Y'all still have 2 days to make sure you get those right on the last 2, because we are getting close to time. Or do y'all want me to try and fit one more in?
We can just.
Let's see. I can't do both of them. The answers, I'll show the answers. Yo, my answers go a lot further than yours because I just didn't print some of these problems for y'all.
D. 26.
26, you could also factor an extra 2 out, so be careful on 26. Okay?
Nope. Okay.
Okay, let me, y'all